everybody, and welcome
What
to
up?
Variable Play News, where we bring you the board game news from around the board gaming scene, especially now for
Hmm.
the second half of February. I'm
Feb
Denmark, and with me is my good friend.
is Ron. As you can see, we are skipping one other person today. May
Well,
missing
we
piece tayo, Denmark. May missing
yes,
piece tayo.
di tayo complete, no? We're hoping that he can make it, but
Yeah.
we are adulting also at the same time. But nonetheless, we are here to bring you news, and there are some exciting news today. And let me see if
Mm.
this will work. Yon, that works.
Yun, no?
News. Let's see what's a better. All right, there. Let's try it, that one. So
Okay.
last week, we had a few couple of new games that are coming out, and we hope that you've
Yeah.
checked it out. And we're gonna bring you some more news and
Mhm.
new board games that will be coming out, and a couple of headliners or industry news, not
Industry news. Yes, correct.
necessarily board game news. So as always, if you have news that you would want to share with us and you want to broadcast it here, just type it down. We're gonna read it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Join
one
us.
news that I know that is not in our um, headlines today, but
Mm.
someone brought it up, is the Kickstarter for 51st State Complete Masters. I don't know what they call it. The complete edition
Oh.
of
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
expansion and everything else. So it's gonna come out on Kickstarter, if not out right now on Kickstarter. So that's an example of
Yeah.
newsflash. so,
News splash. So
so if you
everyone,
have
if
those,
if you're a fan of 51st State, tama diba? I
yeah,
think it's a parang an earlier reiteration of what do you call this?
Imperial
Um,
Settlers.
Imperial Settlers, correct. There you go.
Hey, same
So,
same designer, right? Portal.
same designer, exactly. So,
Ignacy
if
Shavishashek. Sorry, massacre this day.
probably massacred his last name, pero yes, guys. So, if you are very into Imperial Settlers and you like the engine building in Imperial Settlers, might as well try 51st State, right? So,
It just
yeah,
changes
that's it.
theme, right? More or less,
Yes, more or less.
post-apocalyptic, and
Hindi pa ako sure if
starting of civilization.
I haven't seen the page yet, but I'm sure they implemented new stuff din naman. I mean, to, to parang
I
better.
from what I've heard is because they released recently a master set where everything's included.
Mhm.
I think this is a new one where if you
There
have
was
the
already
master
a
set,
complete set eh. Parang meron na
yeah,
rin
yeah,
master
that
set
one, that
before.
one.
Yeah.
If you have that one and you just want, because I think they're gonna have two small expansions.
Mm.
That's the difference from, if I'm not mistaken. But basta ganun lang yung difference niya. So they were saying that if you have the complete set already,
Alright. So is
you
it
don't have to
backwards
order it
compatible?
yet.
Ganun? Parang ganun?
Yeah, yeah. It's basically
Okay.
the same. The difference are just those new cards or new
New
expansions.
expansions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay. Gets it,
basically it's
gets it.
the same. Maybe different art, different case, different box, but essentially they're
Mm.
the same. So if you are a fan of 51st State, you might wanna check it out.
Mm. Yun lang
Speaking of,
actually, yeah, so
go on, go on, go on,
sorry,
go on.
yeah. I just wanted to mention the update kasi when they do like new games like that, tapos expansions, tapos it's card heavy. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
the quality of cards. I'm sure some of you guys have experienced this, wherein the quality of the newer printed cards aren't the same as the older ones, diba?
They have a different. It's either a lighter shade or a darker shade,
Yeah, exactly,
or
exactly.
it's a different texture. So if you don't have a opaque sleeve, you're gonna
Mhm.
notice. If you sleeve your
Yeah,
cards
yeah.
with clear sleeves, you're gonna notice. I
And
remember this is a problem with Lords of Waterdeep and the expansion.
and expansion because they came out a few years later, di ba? So parang, if for example, you play your game a lot, it's not
You
even
know.
an issue. It's not even an issue of like the quality of products that they make, the newer ones. But it's a matter of age din talaga di ba? Like the
Yeah,
cards, they
yeah,
age lalo na
they
kapag
do fade,
ginagamit, di ba? Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Even if
So,
they're not in
yun.
direct sunlight.
So,
All
consider
right.
nyo rin guys, if you are going to buy new game with an expansion
Hey, what's up,
for
Clint? Hello, thank you for
hi
joining.
Clint.
So, with that in
Yeah.
mind, we're talking about new
Hmm.
games and new
Yeah.
reprints. I have a question for you, bro, and maybe for
Hmm.
also the others who are watching. What game are you excited to play or you're looking forward to that will be released this 2022? I can start. That
Go ahead. Yeah.
Neo Paleo Paleolithic America, the third in the series of Dune Imperium, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and then the other one. That one I'm looking
Mm.
forward to. I want to see how just so you play the trilogy, right? Because you know Arnak is resource management heavy. Dune Imperium is really a worker placement and the tension during the battle.
Yeah.
So Endless Winter, there you go. Thank you, Sim. Hey John Hill, hello. Hey Ron. Worst was when the landscape card back flipped in direction. I think he's referring to Waterdeep. But thank
Waterdeep.
you, Sim,
I think so.
for Endless Winter. That one. So I want to see how it plays. What about you, bro?
Mm. Well, I mean, it's already the talk of town, right? So I'm interested to try out Art Nova.
Oh,
So
speaking of, see, Clint just
yeah,
said
yeah. Ah, there you go. See,
Arc
Art Nova.
Nova.
Just to see where the hype is at, no.
Is it true? PM
it's a
killer? Is it true?
we don't use that term here, di ba?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're not killing anything. All right.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. My bad. But
Ayun.
that's
But
what we're saying. It you can replace TM with Arc Nova. They're
yeah,
saying at
that's
some
what they
aspects
say.
it's
But
better.
still, I don't I don't get to travel into space with Art Nova, di ba? So parang it's still a
Oh,
different
theme matters.
di
Theme
ba?
matters.
I mean, there are still differences. Kahit sabi mong they play like exactly the same or one is better made than the other. I think it's a
Mhm.
matter of ano lang naman opinion. But here we like all games. So
Right.
so we can play Terraforming Mars right after
Terra-
Ark Nova.
Terraforming Nova, Arc Mars. Why not?
Exactly. Sama mo. Combine mo yung cards, di ba?
Animals in Mars, not just
Oo.
plants.
Biomes.
So
Hey, Julius,
Sim was saying he's waiting for Wonderland's War and Endless
yeah.
Winter also.
Oh,
And
sorry,
Clint has Arc Nova. Julius is saying Skytear
Skytier
Horde.
Horde. Interesting.
Sorry, Tier, not Tear.
Tier.
Skytear Horde. First
Exactly.
KS physical. Congratulations.
Oh,
May you
congrats.
not be
Congrats.
addicted.
Oh no, it's your first.
May you
How
not.
many have you backed since then? How many have you backed since then? Believe
That's
me,
how it
when you
starts,
get
right?
that, when you get your first KS, you're gonna be like so happy, and then you're gonna click some more backings. I'm sure.
If you were joining if you were watching Open Game Night last week and a couple of few episodes, Ron was saying that it's okay, just add it to cart. Just don't click
Yeah,
buy.
exactly. Oh, add to cart lang. Add to cart.
Therapeutic. Speaking of Ron, he's saying he's excited about Age of
Age of
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yes.
Oh, space again.
Space.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna be sharing a few new games within our news, and hopefully some of those will be your excited to play for
Mhm.
2022. Okay. So besides that, bro, you still have anything else? None.
None. But I am I am trying to look for a specific game actually.
Which one?
It's it's an old game already. Pero nagkaroon sila ng reprint. If you know Tyrants of the Underdark.
Of
It's
course.
yeah, right. So
Deck building, area control.
exactly. So Now, I'm just looking for the older version, like
Why?
the one with the bigger box.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the newer one comes with parang instead of the plastic flags, I think they just come with parang tokens na lang right now. Pero the
Okay.
card quality actually is my concern, not really the
Speaking
plastic.
of, like you were
Oh.
saying earlier. Cool. Cool. All right. So, without further ado, someone's using our account. Oh, wait. Before we go to the news, Abigail, thank you for joining. And Abigail said, I'm excited to play
Lance of
Lance
Galzier.
Galzier and Final
Oh
Girl.
yeah,
Oh,
Final
Final Girl's
Girl.
also
Exactly.
making news, right?
So
It's
guys,
making
have you
noise.
have you guys played well spiritual predecessor, I suppose.
Which
Yung
one?
Hostage Negotiator. I think it builds on
Oh,
that.
okay. All right.
Yeah, I
No,
think it
same,
builds
same
on that.
designer, right?
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
the first one that he did. Yeah.
Exactly. I really
I think there is he was building on that's his engine. You know how designers are
yeah.
trying to perfect their design with
Hmm.
they have their own thing, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's his thing. That
Yeah,
guy would
exactly. And I just find it amazing how he incorporated like different kasi before sa scenarios kasi like yeah you battle kind of like different thugs basically because you're like a hostage negotiator but
Mhm.
now in the Final Girl diba, there's like a lot of lore ang dali lagyan ng expansion.
And they
Yeah.
do have a lot of
Yeah,
expansions for
exactly,
Final Girl.
exactly.
They do.
Right.
And
Mm-mm.
when we reported on that, I can confirm now that you can, since it's modular, you can mix and match whichever girl hero from B movie against
Mm,
whichever monster B movie. It doesn't have to be the same story. You can mix and match
yeah,
however you like. So
cool.
there you go. Hi, Kyo. Thank you for joining. So without further ado, let's bring you news
News.
for the second half of February.
Send.
All right, I think you're seeing something. Are you seeing? What are you seeing on my screen?
There. Because you can't see the screen. Yeah, it's okay. It's just
It's
our slides basically. What games are you excited to
all
play
right.
this? All
Okay,
right.
cool. So with our news, let's start it off with some deck building.
Oof,
Okay,
oof.
and I
You
have a
got me
question,
tickled fancy.
bro. I have a
Oh,
question, Ron.
yeah,
Who's
yeah.
the best Bond for you?
Oh no.
Archer. Archer's the best Bond. Anyway, no. For you? Who would be the best Bond?
it it's different eh. Kasi like, hindi ako super fan of James Bond. So I didn't watch yung mga nauna.
All right,
Diba?
so,
Like,
so you're just okay between two. Let's just ask between
ah,
Brosnan, Pierce Brosnan, yeah, and Daniel Craig. Pick one.
Pierce Brosnan is like more charismatic kasi than ano eh.
Just
Diba?
pick one.
I guess Pierce Brosnan. That's who I
Oh,
mean.
the debonair, the suave, right?
Oh, sorry.
I'm more of a Daniel Craig. I like what he did with Bond, but
Yeah, exactly.
best Bond for me is Sean Connery.
Of course.
So
I mean,
why are we talking about that? Because Legendary will have a James Bond deck building game.
oh, another IP. Congratulations to James
Thank
Bond
you.
for making the
Thank you, Upper
legendary.
Deck. So if you're a fan of James Bond or just spy movies and spy themes and that niche, you
Or
might want to check
simply
this
a
out.
Sean Connery fan, maybe.
Or Sean Connery fan or Pierce
Go check
fan.
this out.
So so this is what it looks like. Of course, the
They used actual
legendary board.
pictures.
That's what I was asking earlier, bro. I have connection to what I'm gonna say next. It's
Oh
right
my
there.
god.
And I think that's Roger Moore. Who's the
Yeah,
other
that's
one?
Roger. The other one.
So it's a classic. No, it looks you're playing a modern card game with very old stills, movie stills, right?
Exactly.
So of course it's legendary and it plays like legendary. So the theme is right there, and you know that this game is gonna be ripe with all of the expansions that they can add. How many Bond films are there that they can that they can use? Because you saw what they did with Marvel. There's like a
Sorry, see.
million expansions, and maybe they can do this with Bond. And I like this danger level marker. It's a fig. I
Mhm.
wanna see this painted with
Is
the
that metal
text.
cast
I
or
think it's metal.
yeah?
I think it is, bro.
Yeah.
So if
Game
you're
should be
interested,
still.
plus legendary, the system is good. My only complaint is that it's hell to put it back in the box.
That's true. Yeah, they get mixed a lot. That's correct.
But the system, it's really good. You can't say anything about the system.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's a reason so many IPs are like into this game already. Diba?
see, people are saying Connery. Connery is Bond. Yes, thank you, John. Correct. And Sim is also saying this game should be stirred, not shaken.
Handshake.
Hey, we can do those puns. Good job. Good job. That's awesome. All right. So from that one, we're gonna jump into the future.
Wow.
And
Segway.
yes, and we're gonna be talking about a post apocalyptic setting where humans survive because of this. The remaining civilization are making use of this one very useful tree, and it's called Ingopolis. The
Ah,
experts, the expansion.
it's an expansion.
For yes, it's a reprint actually because if you recall, Ginkopolis has been out of print for quite some time,
Yes.
and there was a
Pero
problem. Yeah,
is
go
the
on.
experts already printed before? Is this a
Yes,
reprint
that's
or
what
is
I
this
was
a new
gonna.
expansion?
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It was out of print, and then the expansion was even more difficult to find in the
Mm,
first itineration of Ginkopolis. Then they had the reprint, and then now they're also gonna have a reprint of the expansion, so more
nice.
people can have this one. And I think it's gonna come out March 18, if I'm not mistaken. So it's
Wow,
gonna be
not
soon.
soon. Yeah.
Yes, and I've only played this game with you guys when we tried it out, and I asked guys, hey guys, teach me how
Yeah.
to play Ginkopolis, and
Ingopolis. How do you like
instantly
it?
I
How do you like it?
fell in love with the game, bro.
Right,
it's
right.
it's my if you're gonna ask me, I haven't played a board game in like almost a month now. If you're gonna ask me one game that I'm gonna play immediately, I'm gonna bring out Ginkopolis.
Yeah.
It's that game that's
Mhm.
the thinky part. It's a simple game. I distilled it in my brain. It's distilled into three things: play a card, build higher, or expound. That's it.
Yes.
Expand. I mean expand. That's it. But the way that you're gonna do those things and how you're gonna score, the scoring is the tricky part, and that's
Yeah.
what got me into the that got the itch going. That I can do this.
Mhm.
I can play better, and the thrill of um the mixed draft, or what do you call that, when
Mhm.
you get one set, you pass it to the other one. You
Was
pass it
this
to
was
the
this
other
our
side.
game? No. Hindi
Yes,
naman.
no. I'm saying I what also got me into this game was when you're when we were playing it, you get a set of cards, you pick one, then you pass, right? And then you're
Exactly.
excited to get the new set of cards because it
To
might
see
be
what you can do.
yes, they might have the one where I have a plan to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's here. I can do it. So I'm
And
happy that they have the expansion. You were saying
and it's a game that you're excited to get a card, a specific card.
yes.
Yeah.
That one card. And as I can see here, look, if you can see closer in the stack of the tiles, there's a number 24 now. So I think
Ah, all
there
right.
are more buildings, more researchers. I think there's a new set of tiles that you can draw. It
Mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm.
gives you more variation on how you're going to build up your city and how you're gonna do the strategy on
Yeah.
how you're gonna win. But this is really a
Mm-hmm.
good game.
It's a
It's
good
a
game. That's a good
simple
game.
game. It's a little bit flimsy because you have to move a lot of things. You have to put this, but you get past that. Uh, the brain burn is really good. So if you have a new version of Ginkopolis and you want more out of it, you might want to check out the experts, the expansion when it comes out.
Mhm.
All right. So sticking to future, we're gonna be
Yep.
going higher
Back to
into space.
space.
Hey,
And
I
we're
just
back.
realized that there are a lot of games right now that are utilizing space themes,
Yeah.
and we're
I
going
mean,
that way.
for me, it's always just about two things. It's either fantasy or it's
More
space.
space, right? Right.
Yeah,
Can't argue with that.
exactly.
So speaking of space, Ron will tell us about this game.
Yeah, so Rio Grande is releasing another. Well, if you're not familiar with Rio Grande, they're the ones who released Race for the Galaxy, diba? Mode
Hmm.
for the Galaxy. So again,
And the recent
building on
game,
their
no,
sorry,
the recent space game, the Tech Tree game, um, Beyond the
Beyond the
Sun.
Sun, Beyond the Sun.
Yes, they also released that one.
Correct, correct. So building on their, I guess, niche, they will be releasing another space themed game called Space Station Phoenix. Right? So it's a 2 to 4 player game where you are representatives for a galactic council, basically. And you're trying to build, yeah, and you're trying to build your space station, trying to serve humanity. Right. So, well, I think it's still a points game. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, well, you get to interact with different ships. I think you start off with 9 ships, as you can see here.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then you use those different ships to their actions basically to build
Get
other
your
things in the
abilities, right?
game.
Hmm.
Yes. So they're
Might
triggering
it
it.
looks like multi-use cards.
Yes.
So there might be,
They are.
but
So
it's a big game. It's a table
it's a big
hog.
game. Yeah, it's a table hog. And as you can see, I don't think. What's your comment on the art? Because space art is so
It's either hit
limiting.
or miss. It's either a hit or a miss.
It's
That's
so
it. There's
limiting,
nothing
di ba?
else. Right, because like space, void, black. That's it. Few stars, few planets, blue,
Ships,
green,
yeah. But
ships, blue, red.
I guess for me, I mean, what got me hooked with space theme is like it's all about the ships, right? At least for me.
All right.
So yeah,
I
the
think
artwork
others
of the
will love this
ships,
because there are
yeah,
cubes. It's a
they are
Euro game.
cubes.
It's a Euro game.
See,
Art
Clint says
looks
his art
fine.
looks fine, right?
Right,
Art looks
right.
fine.
My problem is, dude, I wouldn't want to be in a ship named Phoenix.
Bakit?
Because,
Kaya
dude,
mo.
what do Phoenix do? they,
They get
they die,
reborn.
but the dying part, and you're in a space station.
Assured ka, assured. Assured.
I wouldn't risk it though. But yeah,
Yeah. But then again,
other than that,
guys, if you are interested to include yet another space theme board game from Rio Grande Games, go check out Space Station Phoenix.
mhm. Looks like you're building your tech tree, getting
Mm.
resources. Right? Clint was saying it's okay that it's Phoenix instead of Nemesis. Right, right. that put that places things in the it puts things in the proper perspective.
Perspective. Correct, correct. Pili ka, di
But
ba?
art looks fine, components look fine. Those beads or gems or whatever
Mhm.
those look like
Yeah,
the orange ones,
definitely.
purple ones look fine.
considering this is from Rio Grande Games, this is a good
Yes,
looking
yes,
game.
that one too.
This is a good looking game, guys.
Most of the games that came from them are only cardboard and cards. That's it.
And cubes.
And dice. That's it. Nothing else. It's as plain as
It's
it is. Like Beyond the Sun. They didn't even have art for any of it. It's just a white card with text on it, right? And then they come up
Yeah.
with this one. So
That's
there you
good,
go.
that's
Space
Space
Station
Phoenix, guys. Go check it out.
Cool. And this is gonna be funny because we went to the future.
Mhm.
When we're gonna report next time, I'm gonna try to make a theme so that we don't jump
Exactly.
around everywhere.
Let's arrange this stuff, man.
Let's arrange this next time. I'm sorry, that's my bad, but I'm gonna do better. Hey, Clint was also saying that it's from Rio Grande or Rio Grande.
Didn't
And
expect the color.
expect it's gonna be colorful.
Apparently,
Ronnie
isa
Horry
lang.
saying, A for effort.
Eh, for it. Kala ko dati
Alright.
isa lang yung color palette ng Rio Grande Games.
It's usually gray and then add any color. Okay. So,
Alright.
so from the future or space, we're gonna go back
Mhm.
to Ice Age.
Whoa.
And from
Yeah.
futuristic art, from futuristic drawings and design, we're gonna go to cartoons. And of course, we
Alright,
are talking
so-
about
Tusk, right? We're talking about Tusk. So, well, as you can see, first and foremost, this title is coming from Gale Force 9. So, if you guys are not
What?
aware of Gale Force 9, they are,
Are you
the IP.
serious?
They are the IP kings, if you ask me.
Well, they have the best IP. Well, they might have the best IP, but dude, if this is from Gale Force, look at the game
Don't judge
and
the
and the
board
art.
game by its art.
They're not known for this.
Yeah,
This is
because
what it looks
yeah,
like.
Gale Force, as I've mentioned again, it's Gale Force 9. This is one of their few titles that are not connected to any IPs. So
Mhm.
right out the bat, you can expect new art, di ba? Right?
There,
You
look at the
can-
art, right?
Yeah.
It's
But-
cartoons.
Yes, it's cartoons, and even the cards have cartoons on them. It's not just the box cover, the entire thing. Yeah. But gameplay wise, so basically you are representing different tribes in during the Stone Age, and you're trying to gather as much resources and develop your tribe as much as you can before Ice Age envelops the entire board, basically. So yeah. So I guess the board kind of
semi-co-op?
shrinking. It is a semi-co, but
Okay.
you still score points at the end of the game, and there's still a winner, basically.
So there's betrayal.
Yes, so you like this game, Denmark. But yeah,
There's a chance
think-
that you can screw your friends.
so I think the board becomes covered in eventually in ice, and the board becomes smaller as the game progresses, and I suppose smaller working area means more player interaction. So yes, you can screw over your friends. Yeah. So yes. So the game ends as soon as the board is wiped, basically with ice, and then you just counter
okay.
remaining resources.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, and then your points, ganyan, and how your
It's-
tribe basically
It's like
evolve.
a reverse escape from Atlantis. Am I
Yeah.
am I right?
Mhm.
It's kind of reverse of that one. And Clint was saying that the elephant reminds him of
Rise of Tribes.
the
correct.
mammoth reminds him of the Rise of Tribes. But that's interesting. It's a timed game. Basically, the timer is the board.
The timer is the
Yeah.
board, basically.
I assume
guess the
you're
number of
getting
rounds.
resources, right, to
Mhm.
do actions. All right.
Yes.
Plus, it looks cute. Table presence.
Mhm.
art looks
But
appealing,
yeah,
even if it's bland colors or pale colors.
yeah, not a very avid fan of that board, that player board. It looks so plain. But yes. Kasi I mean, hello, coming from their most
Gale
recent one
Force.
is Dune, di ba?
Yeah.
Di ba?
Dude,
Their
they
most
have
recent
cubes
title is Dune.
and vector art of real stills, movie stills.
Watch out, dominant species. Tusk is out to get you.
That's just how to get you. But of
Ayan. But
course, Tusk,
yes,
I think
yeah.
it falls under the family category, right?
Yes, it does.
Gateway family category. So at least even in the
Mhm.
news, we try to give you news that you can also consider to play with your families and get them into
Mhm.
board gaming. All right. Thank you for that. It's Tusk from Gale Force 9,
Gale
which
Force
is
9.
weird, really weird from coming out from them. Okay, but that's good. They're expanding their games, right? It's not just you're
Yep,
not shoe
they're
boxing them
moving away
into
from just
shoeing
the
in. You're right.
IP. Mhm.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. Cool. Now I have another question, bro.
Hmm. What are we
Uh
going back to space?
no. We're staying here on Earth, but modern times. And I have a question. Who for you is the best Sherlock? We have
Mm.
three. Currently, we have three Sherlocks. Um, Doctor Strange Sherlock, Iron Man Sherlock,
So
and
Marvel Sherlock's
Superman
basically.
Superman Sherlock. So unless I'm missing someone, but the most recent Sherlocks are those three, right? Strange,
Yeah, yeah.
Downey, and
Cumberbatch, Downey
um,
Jr., and of course Henry Cavill.
Cavill, right? So
Mhm.
pick one.
Si Clint, sabi niya si
Ah,
Will Ferrell daw.
Will Ferrell. Oh, all right, right. He became Sherlock with that guy he always hangs out with in his movies. That was the
Correct.
guy I was watching. I remember that. All right, fine. There's four. There are four Sherlocks. Pick one. I still say it's Archer. Anyway,
Well, I
I guess.
mean, like, si Henry Cavill is not, hindi naman sa kanya centered eh. Diba? So, I did like the series with Benedict Cumberbatch.
That was good. The
Yeah.
BBC series was really good.
Iba eh. Iba rin kasi because it one's on the silver screen, the other one's on like movie, diba? Movie setting. But I think mas
Is it
convincing.
difficult?
It is difficult because I think like trying to deliver the lines, parang always Benedict Cumberbatch. But
Right.
with the action pack, I guess Robert Downey Jr. has that upper hand.
I know. I was gonna say that. I think
Mm,
currently so far the best Sherlock for me, and I think for
Mm.
Ron will be Iron Man. Robert
Yeah,
Downey
yeah.
Sherlock. I
Downey
think
did a
a
good
big
job
part
with
of that is Guy Ritchie and the way he does the action scenes in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And
That's
that
true, that's
was
true.
that was what made it really appealing. Even from the slow mo explosions,
Yeah.
time stopping bullets, and everything else. The way he was framing it, you're right there. You're like, oh no,
Correct,
we're gonna get hit. Plus, also not to say anything, but Downey did a great job. Anyway, besides
Mm.
that, um, we're talking about board games, and there's gonna be a Sherlock.
Unfortunately, it's an actual picture board game
But wait,
box.
there's more. This is from Lucky Duck. Okay, Lucky Duck is
Mm.
famous for crime stories.
Yes.
The QR point and click solved problem thing. And at first I thought it
Mhm.
was how they're gonna do this. It says solve cases with the world's greatest detective, Sherlock Case Connection. And I saw Lucky Duck. I'm like, no, they're just gonna reuse the technology from crime stories, and it's gonna be the same point and click, and somehow it takes you
Mhm.
out of the game. So no, I don't think it's the same. I think this one has a different
Sorry,
way
I,
of you playing it.
I,
It's
still,
more
I still find it.
more
I
yard.
still find it funny, like when
Which
board
one?
games use actual pictures of people.
What's wrong?
I
What's
don't know. See? It's like,
Why are you laughing? Wait,
so
let's ask.
weird, you know?
Let's ask those who are watching, guys. In board games, to use actual stills or art or drawing or painting, do you prefer? Ron doesn't like
Because
picture
like for
stills.
me, di ba, we like, I'm just gonna say my piece. Because like, for example, like, it's another avenue for artists to express
Right.
themselves. Di ba?
Right.
Through their art sa board games. And when you use stills kasi, it's like, it's already a ready resource, basically. Yeah?
Well, bro, you're not alone. Clint was saying not a fan of actual stills. Sim was saying I want more art. I think I have a guess why they're using this one. It's because Lucky Duck bought the IP.
Mm.
It doesn't have money to doesn't have money to pay artists, but since they got the rights for the IP, might as well use the stills from the movie from the series.
That's true.
It
That's true.
will be
Yeah.
cheaper.
Business, di ba, perspective. That's true. I mean, you already have the license to it. Why not, di ba?
Right. Make it cheaper. What happened? What happened? Is Jake here? Yay! What up, Jake?
Oh, I just
Wait,
got. Oh, sige.
Wait, go on. You were saying you just got.
Wala, kagaling ko lang sa sa on-site report kaya
Kaya
Yes,
pala,
we
bis
sent
na
you
bis
out.
ka, brother.
We
What's up,
sent you
Clint?
out.
What's up?
We sent you out
Nakafollow pa tawag na mo.
for a remote news. Hopefully,
Hi,
you can
everyone.
report on that next news episode.
Eh, same.
Wait, I was gonna say before you jumped in, and we're happy that you're here. The ladies are chiming in. Abigail is saying that art, if stills, I'd rather watch the movie. So that's another point for art.
Exactly.
And Roni is saying it's not the best look for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Exactly, di ba? Pili na lang sila ng stills yung medyo underwhelming pa.
Speaking of Jake, IP board games, should they
Yeah.
use movie or stills, picture stills, or new art?
Usually I'm a fan of new art, but so that's my default answer. But there's also tasteful ways to use movie stills, right? But I think usually they've failed miserably on that, right?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
so. So let's just go with
Imagine mo
new
nga.
art.
Imagine mo nga yung MTG, di ba? Paano kung totoong tao yung picture na nandun? Bakit, di ba?
Ano siya? Naka-Gandalf costume, naka-Gandalf
Oo.
costume.
See other Superman. What's the name of other Superman? Brandon.
Okay,
Brandon
Routh?
Roof.
Hmm.
Ralph.
Yeah. So, wait. Spoiler alert. Spider-Man. Anyway, baka naman meron silang angle dito sa dito sa Sherlock board game kung saan andito rin si Henry Cavill tsaka andito rin si Robert Downey.
They're gonna appear, all three of them. They're
Pwede.
gonna do you. All right. So it's a new game. I'm just happy that they did not use the QR code technology that they have. It's a totally new experience. I don't know what the flip of the back of the card is. The QR might be there, but hopefully it's not there. So we'll see. All right, and still staying on the real world.
Yeah, more
And
of
this is-
board game. Ano to? News
Now
talaga,
this is more of
guys.
industry news. And when we were making our news reports and we were placing in all our news reports on the Google Docs, I saw our first ever episode, and our first item of news was the shipping problem that we had. I think that was when there was a ship that was blocking Suez
Canal.
Now,
And besides that, there was a great problem right now with shipping costs and everything else, and it's now affecting. We're now feeling it, right? All of it, and board games are getting expensive. Not only board games, but a lot of other things. are getting expensive, and going with that flow is Games Workshop, right? Games Workshop is known for, of course, Warhammer. What else? No, with that IP, they can live. Whoever's gonna inherit Games Workshop will be rich, and those figs are not cheap, right?
So
Plus,
whoever inherits your figs collection will also inherit be rich.
those are not cheap. They're kind of pricey. Okay, and plus the brushes, the paint that you're gonna do. Of course, that's the hobby. That's what you get into Warhammer for. Plus, of course, the game. And now they're gonna increase prices from 5% on some of their items to 20%. I think
Coco.
it's gonna be 20% for the big boxes, the bigger boxes that they have, and 5% for the smaller ones, the single ones that they are releasing. And
Plastic
they're saying that
shortage, boys.
they're saying that this is going to cover the increase is to cover the added expenses right now of shipping, of marketing,
Oh,
and everything else. So, what do you guys think about that? Will this be a trend, or will this be a reason for others to really jack up prices? What do you think?
I think we've seen it also in Kickstarters, right? Like
Yeah,
Kickstarters have started asking for higher shipping
Mm-hmm.
fees
shipping
ahead,
fees. Yeah.
even though it's like 1 year, 2 years down the line before they even have to ship the game. In the case of Simon, 3 years down the line before they have to ship the game. But they've started doing that, so I won't be surprised, man. And I don't know if you guys talked about it, but I know we're a news team, so we know there's a bit of kaguluhan in the world right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that may
it started
also,
today.
yeah. And in our immortal words, there's a bit of kaguluhan. So
Yes,
ano ba yun? It might
Somebody's actually
eventually
playing, ano,
real life
Warhammer
twilight
40.
struggle.
Oh, exactly.
So
Playing
I
Warhammer 40,000 with actual real people.
we've seen
right.
it just increase prices across the board for all goods. So maybe board games won't be so safe from that also.
Yeah. Gas
Mm.
is really gas is
Yup.
really a nightmare right now.
Your
Stay at
motorcycle,
So
man, you're not gonna be able to motorcycle as much as
actually, 1 gallon, 25 kilometers per gallon. It's not bad.
Mm.
So, might,
Bili ka ng
might be
gas right
riding.
now. Stock mo na lang.
bili ka ng gas na nakalagay sa bote ng Coke. Yun na lang.
Yan,
They
marami.
don't allow that anymore. So,
Oh,
wait. In all seriousness, we were praying for Ukraine and for everything else. We hope that
Yeah,
that
man.
one gets resolved quickly. We're not yet out of the pandemic, and this is the new thing that we have to face. And
yeah.
immediately we felt all the what's happening there in our gas prices. So, well, we hope that it ends soon, and we hope everyone can keep safe. So, if
So our
someone's
next,
watching from Ukraine, dude, we're praying for you guys, and we hope that this gets resolved easily. And I mean quickly, not easily, quickly. All right. So there you go. Games Workshop prices increase. And finally, for our news, more of industry news, and I wanna see how a banker can add his input on this
oh,
one.
oh,
Just in time.
just
You
in
got a
Because
time.
banker.
because Ravensburger has invested like a lot on GameFound. And if you don't know what Ravensburger is, they are in Europe. They are one of the leading. They're like Mattel of Europe, where they make
Mhm.
games, toys, and everything else. Hasbro, they're like that one in Europe. Of course, not as big, but they're known for that. And now they're investing into GameFound, and GameFound is Kickstart. No, wait, what do you call that?
It's a backer
Um,
platform.
it's a
Mm.
backer platform where you make your games and you
Your
raise
projects.
funds for it on or projects on GameFound. And right now Ravensburger invested a lot, so they're now more or less partners, right? They are strategic partner. That's what GameFound called Ravensburger. So they were saying, I saw the interview, well, not all of it, but they were saying it will be easier for new designers and for companies to design the games, produce the games, and then distribute the games through
Yeah.
GameFound. That's one of the benefits. Financially, Jake, or any other input, whatever you think will
I think
benefits.
anytime banker nerd, but anytime a company spends a lot of money in something, they're not doing it for nothing. They think that eventually down the line they're gonna get back
Mhm.
that money. So what they're doing
Mhm.
here obviously is they believe in the business model of GameFound. So either they
Mhm.
think GameFound will give them more money, or they think it will help them sell their own games right now or make their own
Exactly.
projects, right? So
Right, right, right.
I think at baseline, they believe that GameFound works. It's a good business model. I think we've seen that naman with Kickstarter, di ba? We've seen that Kickstarter, we've seen
Mhm.
GameFound. That model works. So I think it's not surprising that somebody who has extra cash is saying, "I want a piece of that pie and
Mhm,
give me that,"
mhm.
right? So I think that's what's happening.
It's good that it's mutual they're both benefiting from it mutually.
Yeah. Because somebody like
Ravensburger
GameFound can benefit from the expertise of Ravensburger,
Of
being in the
Ravensburger,
industry
right.
so long.
For how
right?
many years? Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly.
And Clint was saying, this is good news. I want GameFound to beat Kickstarter.
100%.
We'll see.
So
We'll see.
it's another thing about the market, right? If you just let one type of company rule the market, they will set
Yeah,
all
it's
the
gonna be a
rules, right?
monopoly.
So to have
Mhm.
competition in GameFound can only be good for us consumers, meaning they're gonna be try to outbeat each other. So we're only going to benefit as consumers.
Correct. Cool.
Plus, for all those who make board games, they have more channels now, di ba? So
Yeah.
they're not stuck to like, man, I
Yes,
have to work
that
around
Kickstarter format.
Kickstarter, di ba?
Mhm.
Like for example, lang their business di ba? Their business mindset. Like for example, if you're not in tune with Kickstarter and how they run their business, di ba? Parang you're kind of stuck into how you want to basically put out your game, di ba? But now we have another option, this game
Alternatives.
di ba? And
Yep.
all I'm expecting from this is basically sad for us consumers, but more board games.
Sad for our wallets.
Sad
But
for
good
our
for us
wallets,
as
but
well.
happy for our soul.
Yeah.
Right, right. I have
Spark
to agree
joy.
with that.
Spark
right,
joy.
it sparks joy. Mario
Yeah, it
Kondo.
sparks joy.
Okay.
But more,
So-
more board games.
There you go. That's our news for the second half of February. And we hope you found something that we you can be boodled with.
Buy GameFound shares.
Buy
Game
game
Found.
found
Ooh,
shares.
why not?
Exactly.
So that's the news, and don't go anywhere because immediately after this one, of course, we usually have this on Wednesdays, but life happens. But we still want to give you the news. That's why we still delivered it on Thursday. But after this, please don't go anywhere because immediately after this will be at 9:30 will be open game night with Ron and open game night hosts. But again, if you have any other news that you would like to share with us or you would like for us to report, please send it to Variable Play at the Variable Play Facebook page. Just message it there. Maybe we can pin a news entry there where you can just input all your news there, and then we can see and we can report on
Yep.
the new games and the news that you want to be discussed in this platform. So I would like to thank all of you. We hope that thank you for joining us. We hope that you continue to be safe and try not to go anywhere because gas prices are really high. or walk.
Exactly.
Or
Use a bike. Use a bike.
Use a bike.
Or bike.
Or watch Netflix. Stay at home.
Whatever
home.
other alternative besides using
Unless you're
petrol,
going out to play board
gas.
games.
Actually, gas affects everything. So even if you stay at home, the electricity prices will go up, etc. We're screwed.
No.
guys.
Hey, I saw earlier it was like somewhere in the Philippines, gas 95 octanes around 82 pesos already. So that's really scary.
Buti na lang board games, di kailangan ng gas. You know?
Unless you burn it So,
Si Bird.
besides that, boys, any other last huling habilin before open game night takes over?
Laro kayo board games, guys.
Ano ba yung board game is?
Jake,
Get
new episodes?
Get vaccinated, guys. Sige. Wala. But on Instagram, I'm fairly active doing a solo.
Wow! Reviewing game?
Yeah.
I see.
Solo run. Lang friend sa bahay.
Solo run.
Walang friends eh. Wala.
What-
Ngayon, bawal na mag-coach.
what's your
So,
What's your Instagram?
Jake Geeks Out, guys. Jake Geeks Out. Ganyan. Pakihanap na lang sa Instagram, guys.
All right. So, Jake, thank you for joining us, and we're sorry that we had to send you out for remote research.
Yeah, I know. Pag-usapan natin offline, guys.
The
Yung
first half. Of March, you can report on that one. But guys, thank you for joining. Please stay tuned. And after this is open game night, so please watch that show also. But besides that, be safe.
Andun
God
si
bless
Denmark,
everybody.
guys. Please. Andun pa si Denmark. What a hardworking guy.
Bye, everybody. See you next time. Bye, boys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.